Can people hear me? Okay, I'm just gonna wait like a couple of minutes. I'm just preparing for the game. But we will start soon. It's raining here in California. One of the rare rainy days. Okay, let me explain what we're doing today. So basically, I like madlibs a lot, like the game madlibs. So I prepare 3 rounds of madlibs games. So basically, I just need help from people to give me the words to fill out the games. So there's 3, and they have different categories. The first one is a random story called Michael Bay, and this game you need to give me words that are related to the Ayn Rand world, like Ayn Rand's novels or Ayn Rand's life. So just to see what we turn up with. But the other ones, they're gonna be like stories related to Ayn Rand, but we're gonna do, nouns and verbs that are not related to Ayn Rand, and just to see how that goes too. So let me just prepare the first one. Like I said, this one's called Michael Bay. So basically, whoever gives me a word, like the first word that I see, that's the word I'll write down. And then at the end, I'll read the story. This is kind of weird because when I look at the screen, there's a delay of like 4 seconds. So I get very confused on what the hell is going on. All right. So the first story, remember, has to be words related to the Ayn Rand novels or Ayn Rand's life or Ayn Rand's world or whatever. Okay, so can somebody give me a man's name? If nobody gives me a man's name, I'll just get it from just open YouTube. Oh, okay, John Galt. Somebody said John Galt. Okay, now an occupation. a career, occupation. I'm just gonna Google career occupation here on Google and see what comes up first. Wait, occupation. Oh, architect. Someone said architect. Architect. Okay, a noun. A noun is a word used to identify any of a class of people, places, or things. Fountainhead? Okay. Fountainhead. Okay. Another noun. Train. I see train. Okay. Another noun. Dog. A shape. Potato. That's my favorite word. Okay, man's name. Oh wait, it's supposed to be the same name from before. A verb. Think. Okay. This makes no sense, but it's funny. Okay, woman's name. Susan. Hey, is Susan Ayn Rand related? It's okay. Body part. I. Okay. Verb. Stabbing. Okay. Noun. Garlic. Okay, some of these are not Ayn Rand related, but they're still funny. Another noun. Fan. Okay. Restaurant name. I already predicted this story is gonna make no sense at all, but I think that's what madlibs are all about. What a burger. Hey, this is also not Iron related, but that's okay. Historic monument. Oh, okay. Which? Okay. A verb. Kick. Okay, give me two nouns. Oh, yay. Hi, Lauren. I knew you would say cat. Well, I didn't know you would say cat, but it just makes sense that you would say cat. Cat. Okay, a noun and a verb. You know, since you already put some nouns there, I'm just gonna get that one that says Viagra, which it really doesn't make sense in the story because it's supposed to be an Ayn Rand related words and Ayn Rand related stuff, but it's fine. Okay, and I need another verb and another noun. Okay. Right. Oh. Oh, Henry Reardon is a noun. Okay. Henry Reardon. That's funny. Okay, an adjective. Nice. Moist. That's like a classic madlibs word. Another adjective, Lauren, I saw you say ugly, so I'll put ugly. And then an emotion. Hello to Portland, Oregon. Hatred. What? Okay, verb. A verb and a noun. Okay. Wait, is constipation? What's constipation? Is it a verb? Oh, what is it? Anyways, let's do. I'm gonna pick sword for the noun. And oh, should I put erecting? Okay, on the verb. A noun. And a noun and a verb. I'm gonna put make as a verb. Noun. Noun, 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 noun. Okay, this story is going to make no sense. But the other two stories are going to make a little bit more sense. Okay, I'm just gonna put a random noun from, oh, diamond. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to read this. And like I said, it's going to make no sense. This is called Madlibs Michael Bay. Okay. John Galt is a normal architect. Then one day, a fountainhead explodes, causing a train to blow up, and a nearby dog erupts into a potato of flames. Okay. John Gall realizes that he's being chased by the government, who's trying to think him. While on the run, he teams up with an incredibly attractive woman named Susan, who has an incredible eye. She may be from the streets, but she can stab like nobody's business. The duo decide to turn the tables on their pursuers by blowing up a garlic, which triggers a chain reaction, causing the local fan, Whataburger, and the ostrich to explode. Then the bad guy's helicopter gets kicked by a piece of cat from when the beer exploded. And the helicopter explodes and falls onto a Viagra, causing it to ride. I knew this wouldn't make sense. Anyways, causing it to ride, which shoots a fireball straight into the heart of Henry Reardon and destroys the bad guy leader. Everything is moist, and the two decide that such an ugly ordeal has caused them to fail in hatred with each other. They decide to celebrate by erecting on the sword, and they even manage to use a diamond from the beginning of the movie to make the whole story come together. I knew that one wouldn't make sense, but because I didn't write this story, I just took it from the internet. But the next two I did write. So these ones are going to be better, I think. This one is an Ayn Rand story. So the verbs and the nouns can be Ayn Rand related or not Ayn Rand related. It doesn't matter. Okay. So do you have a verb? Actually, two verbs. Verbs. Run. Teach. Okay, noun and adjective. Somebody said, I'm going to say, wait, fast. Somebody said fast. And for noun, I'll said weed. Okay. Actually, I'll just put car. Okay, emotion. An emotion and an adjective, but give them separately. Okay, I'm going to put constipated as adjective. Uh, love for emotion. Okay. Verb. Wait, sex is not a verb. Rip out. Okay. Um, food. Oh, this is already looking strange. Celery. Okay. Uh, give me a title. Make up a title or a real title of something. And a career. The greatest man alive. Okay. Dean. Okay. Another career. Wheelchair repairman. Okay, I like that. Okay, a historical figure. Aristotle. Okay, a verb and an adjective. Stingy for verb. Adjective verb was tear apart. Okay. A noun. Hello. We're doing madlibs. A noun. Okay, book. Place. So basically, whatever I see first, that's what I put down. Okay, Russia. Adjective. Random exclamation. Zoinks. Or oh no. Okay, zoinks. An adjective. My internet's bad. Expensive. Okay, almost done. Only three more things. An emotion. Okay. Disappointment. And subject. Subject could also be like person. Yeah, no, by subject I mean like person or historical figure or just a name. And an adjective. Hiawatha? What is that? Okay, Abraham Lincoln. I'm gonna replace Abraham Lincoln for president, so it makes more sense. Um, splendiferous. Okay, okay, okay. All right, time to read the story. So all of these verbs and nouns and everything was provided by you, but I wrote this story. So, and it's an Ayn Rand related story. So let's see how it goes. The first thing Ayn Rand did when she arrived in America was to run. She was pleasantly noticed Americans loved to teach as much as she did. She also noticed that all of their cars were very fast, and she was in love with that. The one thing she missed about Russia was the constipated celery she used to rip out. However, she was happy to be in the States and was eager to begin working on her first story, which would be titled The Greatest Man Alive. It would be the story of a dean who desperately wants to become a wheelchair repairman, but an evil Aristotle is trying to sabotage him. In the end, the protagonist tears apart a stingy book and achieves his dream. In the last chapter, he goes home to Russia, embraces his closeted lover, and proclaims, "Zoink, that was an expensive adventure." Ayn Rand, Ayn Rand was quite disappointed with the story, and she managed to find a president who wanted to publish it because he thought she was a splendiferous lady and he would make lots of money from her work. Oh my God. I like that one more than the Michael Bay one. The Michael Bay one didn't make any sense. I have another story, and this one's also Ayn Rand related, and I also wrote this one. And if I suggest you give me Ayn Rand related words, but it could be something else. And I'm going to give you a hint of what the story is about. It's about politics. All right. Let's say I need two adjectives. Epic and corrupt. Oh my God, this one's gonna be good. Okay, an adjective and a noun. Scandalous. Skyscraper. Okay, a verb and an adjective. Verb and meeting. Meeting for verb and then adjective. Ah, selfish. And then a curse word. Oh my gosh, what if YouTube doesn't let you put the curse word here? What if it censors it? Write it in a funny way, but that I know what it is. Humbug. I have no idea what that is. Let me Google it. Humbug. Okay, since I don't know what humbug is, I'm just gonna put son of a bleach. Okay, noun. It's so cold in here. Money. Another noun. Okay, you know what? Confidence sounds funny. Wait, well, confidence or currently love? I'm gonna do currently love. Okay, verb. I'm frozen. I'm looking at my router like, am I still online? Climbing. Okay, adjective. We're almost there. Almost there. Sensual. Another verb. Body part. Broke. I picked broke because that was the first verb I saw. Litter. Okay, adjective. Rich. Okay, the last word can be a name, a career, a subject. A name. President. Oh my gosh, this is actually perfect. All right. Let's read this. This is an Ayn Rand related story that I wrote, but although blank words provided by you. It was the ultimate showdown. Trump and Ayn Rand would compete to see who was the most epic. It would be a battle of the wits, but also of strength. Trump would use his corrupt cat as his Trump would use his corrupt cat as his weapon of choice, and Rand would use her scandalous skyscraper to disarm him. Trump was fired up and yelled, "I will be meeting you, selfish son of a bitch." "We'll see about that," said Rand, and she threw money at him, which made him stumble into a pile of corny lobs. "Hold up," said Trump. "Can we just climb and work things out?" Rand stared at him and shook her head. In her heart, she knew the battle for capitalism would only be won by essentially breaking Trump's liver, so she did. And so, Rand became the ultimate champion of this rich showdown. "This is for the presidents of the world," she said, and walked into the sunset. I was actually gonna try to make a robot read that last one story, but it would take too much time to, input the words on the computer and then make the robot read them. Beautiful story, right? Splendid, yes. I mean, and now I said there was a Q&A, but it's basically just some questions that I've gotten through Instagram or here via the comments that I thought maybe some other people are interested in the answers. So I would answer them here. So let's see the first one. The first question. Right, internship, how I mentioned in one of my videos that I did an internship at the Ayn Rand Institute. So wait, hold on. I need to cover the camera just for 1 second. Okay. So yeah, the first questions are about the Ayn Rand internship. People are interested in that. So somebody asked what you do at the Ayn Rand internship. So when I did the Ayn Rand internship, it was in 2015. And back in the day, by ARI, I mean Ayn Rand Institute internship. Back in the day, the ARI internship was very different than how it is today. So when I did the internship, it was basically very educational with a very small office component. So we would go, and most of the day we would read or listen to the experts talk about Ayn Rand's ideas and answer questions and stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, we will have 1 hour or 2 hours of work. and it was like, normal internship work that people do, like filing, doing light research, or I don't know, even running errands or something like that. Basic. But nowadays, the internship is very different. There's a very small educational component, and most of the rest of the internship is actually doing work at the office. They also asked me if ARI provided living accommodation while I was there. So they did provide a stipend. I think they provide a stipend. So you can use it to, rent an Airbnb or something while you're there. What I did was I rented a hotel room, and it was me and 3 other girls. So it was like 4 girls in a hotel room for a little bit over a month. We were just living there, and we would drive to the office every day. Andy Blank asked, ever consider having a super chat? Yes, but you can only do that if you have 1,000 subscribers. So not right now. So somebody also asked a question about, I'm just going to read it because it's long. Hey, you mentioned that you're a film major. I write scripts. I'd like to hear your take on how she's been portrayed on the screen and what difficulty in presenting her ideas lays, since the films based on her works haven't exactly received a lot of praise. The problem of disseminating Ayn Rand goes beyond just getting through to the so-called bleeding heart leftists. There are also a lot of liberals that merely pay lip service to these ideas and think this dilemma gets to the heart. And I think this dilemma gets to the heart of a lot of the issues that we're all dealing with today. So there's a lot of stuff being asked in that question. So why I focus on from that question is like about the problem of promoting Ayn Rand's ideas in media, in movies. So here's what I think. And let's take the Atlas Shrugged movies as an example. I think it's really hard to promote philosophies or like really intense ideas in film in general. So my approach is always, and what I think all of filmmakers' approach should just be to focus on the story and focus on the character development, which is why the Fountainhead movie was successful and the Atlas Shrugged movies were not. The Fountainhead movie focused on the story of Howard Rourke and the story, but it didn't really try to push ideas that much. Only maybe in the courtroom speech, but most of the movie was just the story. So by telling a really good story, you didn't have to sell the ideas in the movie. Just people are like, oh, this is a really good story. Let me go read The Fountainhead. And then that way they'll absorb the ideas through the book, not through the movie. So that's what I think they should have done with the Atlas Shrugged movies. They should have focused on telling a really good story, because it's a mystery, instead of trying to explain the philosophy in the movies. Because then it just makes the movie very confusing and nobody wants to go. They think, oh, this is what Atlas Shrugged is about. Like, why would they want to go read the book? So if they had just focused on telling a really good story through the movies, maybe people would have been more interested in actually picking up the book and get the philosophy from reading the book. The first time I read Atlas Shrugged, it took me months, like maybe 5 months, but I've read it again a second time, and this time was faster, maybe 2 months. There's another question here that somebody sent. It said, interesting to find a channel completely dedicated to her philosophy. Are you open to reading and learning from other contradictory philosophies and other like-minded souls who agree with her? So my answer to that is yes, I am open to read other philosophies and contradictory philosophies. And I have read books that try to make a case for socialism and all that. But that would be on my private time. I don't think I would discuss that on the channel at length. I mean, maybe in passing, or if it's related to one of my videos, but I wouldn't discuss it at length because that's not the purpose of the channel. Who's my favorite objectivist philosopher? I mean, there are that many, right? There's Harry Binswanger, Leonard Peikoff. Is Yaron Brook considered a philosopher? I don't know. I don't know because I don't think there's that many. Let's see. There was another question. Okay. Actually, I got a very interesting question, and I'm going to read it to you. Let's see. Could you say the smallest minority? Spanish. Hold on. Let me translate it. La minoría pequeña es el individuo. Is that it? Okay, I'm fetching a very interesting question that I got here on Instagram. If I can find it. Okay, this one's a little long, but it's worth it. It said, as an objectivist in a pretty religious state, wait, no, never mind. That okay. Says, I always wanted to ask another objectivist the following. How would you handle going into an industry that is basically dominated like government? In my case, I'm going into the space industry, example, SpaceX, but I would hate to deal with all the government. What would you do? And I said, hey, thanks for your message. And I told him that I knew what the answer was, but I was not eloquent enough to explain it. But activist friend who is much better at answering deep questions heard the question, and this is the answer that she gave me that then I replied to him. And this is it. Unfortunately, government is basically everywhere, and there's almost no escaping that fact. If you want to pursue your productive purpose in life and work with the best people, for instance, Elon Musk, you may have to go to companies that are partially funded by government money. As long as you're producing value and not compromising your integrity because of the government money, you are okay. For instance, some pharma companies take government money, and that heavily limits the work that their scientists can do. For instance, they can follow certain leads that they might find because of regulations and limits on what that money is for. Take the case of cannabis. A research company funded by the government couldn't research that because cannabis is illegal at the federal level. But you as a scientist know that maybe you should be pursuing that lead because reality is pointing you that way, but you can't do it. Another variant of this question is it moral to work for the government? My answer is it depends on what the work is. If you work on something that's a legitimate role of government, then yes, you can work on the judicial system, for example, be a judge, a law clerk for a judge, even a typist. You can be in the army, you can be a policeman, etc. But if you work for a government agency that is not part of the proper role of government, you're actively, slowly eroding your own values and causing harm to others. Think the FDA, the EPA, etc. I thought that was an interesting question, so I wanted to share my friend's answer to the question with you. That was not my answer. I'm not that smart to answer so eloquently. I have received a fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged as a gift for Christmas. Which one do you recommend I should read first? I would say read the fountainhead, because read Atlas Shrugged first, because that's gonna get you the most excited. But they're both really good. I just think some people disagree with me, but I say Atlas Shrugged. Start with Atlas Shrugged, especially if you don't mind reading long books. Anyways, we'll end pretty soon unless anybody has any other questions. Most of the questions that I was going to answer were questions that were sent to me via the comments on some older videos or Instagram DMs. Somebody asked, do you think the government has a role in protecting endangered species? I don't think so, but I'm not an objectivist philosopher, so don't take my word for it. Just because I don't think the government should have that role doesn't mean that I don't think people in general shouldn't care. Like I think that whoever has the means and wants to and can do it as a private venture should be protecting endangered species, but it shouldn't be the government's job. But that's just, I'm not a philosopher or whatever. What do you think of people live in California? I mean, I live in California and I understand why people want to leave, because it's really expensive. And obviously, more and more regulations are making living here harder. Your money doesn't go a long way because you get taxed. So I'm actually planning, I'm like 90% sure that I'll be moving out of California within the next year or year and a half. Anyways, thank you so much for coming and playing Madlibs. I'm not that young, but I still enjoy this type of young people games like Madlibs. You can ask anybody that knows me well. I regularly force people to play Madlibs with me and other childish games like that. Anyways, thank you for watching, and there's another video coming here very soon next week, so turn on your notifications if you haven't. Okay, thank you, bye.